All right, obviously we're excited to go on the road and try to play better on the road than we have to this point this season. Northern's not having the season that they wanted, but they're one of the most talented teams in the MAC. They just have lost some close games and things haven't gone their way, but defensively, they might be the best defense in the conference. Defensive line's really big and long. The defensive ends are both really good players, probably going to be in somewhere on the All-MAC team. Linebackers can really run. They're your typical Northern linebackers. They're physical, they're tough, they're fast. Secondary's got, I think, 4 or 5 picks. They fit the run really well. They're really well coached on defense. The defense coordinator does a good job of mixing things up. They played several fronts throughout the year, but they are very talented on defense. Offensively, they've started 2 different quarterbacks. The kid that started last week had his best game. I think he was 21 of 30. They scored the most points they've scored to this point this year last week. They probably had their best offensive game. They got a bunch of, Northern always has good running backs, and they got 3 of them. Wide receiver, one of them's got 24 catches on the year. The offensive line averages over 300 pounds across the board. So they're getting better on offense, and like I said, they just played their best game, and it'll be a big matchup for us and a big challenge for us on both sides of the ball to go up there and win. It's a tough place to go win a game at.
You're obviously going to NIU where you've had coaching stints before. What has that place meant in terms of your coaching career for you?
It's meant a lot to me, but I'm really focused on the game and the players this week. It's really about them. It has nothing to do with me, or we have several staff members that have been there, but it's not even something that we'll talk about. It's another opponent for us.
With this being NIU's last season in the MAC, this could be the last time we see this battle for this trophy for a while. How much does that kind of add on to the game itself?
I could be wrong, but I think is the series 25-25-2? That's what somebody told me.
I think it's pretty even.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, obviously, every game's important, and every conference game's really important. And when you're playing for a trophy that gets attention and it's something the guys know about, obviously, it's not something we're going to run and hide from. But how we're getting ready for the game should be the exact same every week.
Yeah, you mentioned the road struggles this year so far. How do you keep the guys kind of locked in, knowing that you've had those struggles on the road?
It's just part of growing up as a team and being mature and being able to handle different changing environments and all of that. And we need to do that this week. We need to have a good week of practice. It starts tomorrow, and then we got to have a good Wednesday, Thursday, a good Friday, and then get up there and go to bed and go out and play well on Saturday. I mean, it sounds easy when you say it, but it's not, and that's a tough place to play. And I know that it's going to be, it doesn't matter what the weather says, it's going to be windy there. And it's going to start going one way in the first half and go the other way in the second half. And the wind is always a factor in football games there. I've coached a lot of them there. So that shows up on special teams. That shows up in deciding what you want to do and which way you want to kick the ball in the second half to try to have the wind in the fourth quarter, which is what we ended up doing last week. It was so windy, we took the wind in the fourth when we kicked off. And this game might be the same. It might be different.
You talked about NIU's defense. I guess, what do you think the offense really needs to focus on this week going against that defense?
We have to be assignment sound because they play a lot of fronts. Like I said, their defensive ends they got a good defense, but their defensive ends are really talented. So they take away some things in the run game, and then what they do with their pressures. And, we haven't gotten that far in the third down, but some of the third down stuff that I've watched, it's different every week. So there's going to be 1 or 2 pressures that we get that we have not practiced yet. So we got to know our rules. We got to be assignment sound, and we got to block it. And you can prepare for all the stuff they've done, but every single week there's something different on third down. So I don't know why this week would be any different.
On the flip side, what do you want to see from your defense in this game?
We got to get pressure on the quarterback, and we got to stop the run. I know that sounds like we say that every week, but they do have explosive tailbacks. They do run really hard, and they break a lot of tackles. So if they block it right, and the ball's on your safety, we have to get the ball down because they make people miss. And even over the last couple of years, when you look at them, they've had a lot of explosive plays in the run game. And then because everybody's packing down in there to stop the run, they get one-on-one with those receivers, and they can go up and get the ball. So we got to do a good enough job against the run where we don't have to put a ton of people in there so we can get some help in coverage.
Darin, the defense obviously had the pass rush had a bit of a bounce back game with 4 sacks. You guys have kind of gone like every other game with no sacks against UConn, 5 sacks against Ohio, no sacks against Western, and then 4 sacks Saturday. So how important is it to get that going and just have that consistency?
Man, it's just really important. It starts really in practice. We kind of got after it, after that bad taste in our mouths against Western. So we attacked the film, and then Coach Sawicki definitely got on us to attack the game plan and know what they're going to do. We felt like we had a good matchup against their O-line, and it showed on Saturday.
Obviously, being here at Ball State, the Bronze Stalk up for grabs this weekend. What has this rivalry game meant to you?
Man, to me personally, I know it means a lot because this is going to be the last time we play NIU for a long time. So the history with this trophy, and it means like we want to have this trophy until probably we don't know if we'll play them in a decade later. So it's important to have this in the building for as long as possible. And I know we're going to. Us as a team is going to use that as motivation to keep that trophy here in Muncie.
Do you think the energy is maybe a little different in the program when at the end of the week you got a big rival coming up?
Yes, I do, because Coach Sawicki and the D-line was talking about it like a rivalry game. Anything can really happen, so you have to attack practice like 1 week season. The last game's over, and now we're attacking this game. It's going to be a championship game because it's super important, and it's our rivalry game. And that's NIU is going to be putting their all into this game. They have a good team, and they're going to be ready to win.
Yeah, I know Ball State's on a bit of a winning streak in this rivalry. I don't believe you've ever lost to NIU in your career here. So.
I don't think I have, yeah.
Yeah, how much motivation do you guys have to keep that winning streak going, especially like you mentioned with them on their way out of this conference?
Man, it's a lot. NIU is having a little bit of struggles here and there, so they're going to be they're going to be hungry for this win against us. And we know this rivalry is important. We beat them close last year, and I remember that game. That was our homecoming game. So they're going to have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, but we're going to have to come out fast. And it starts tomorrow on Tuesday, and then on to Wednesday, and then later on in practice.
You talk about motivation, obviously against Western Michigan, not the performance you guys wanted to see, but you guys really kind of turned the game around on Saturday. Kind of what does that do, having a week like you did and having a game like you did on Saturday?
It really I feel like the difference between Western and the game yesterday was we came out firing. Like, we came out with energy. I know myself, I was showing my emotions on my sleeve, before the game. Like, I'm just showing my team, like, hey, I'm ready to go dominate with you guys. And that showed, like, we, even though we got hit in the mouth early, we kept going and we kept that energy going. So that's going to be important throughout this week, is to make sure we continue to have that high energy in practice, and then that'll carry over to our game.
To follow up on that, because you guys did film yesterday, I'm assuming, was it different watching film yesterday versus after the Western Michigan game?
No, not necessarily. Every time, either if it's a win or a loss, we're going to look at the film objectively. We're going to pull the good things from it, and then we're going to pull the bad things from it. But I feel like the difference was we don't ever want to have that Western taste in our mouths. And we learned from that film just like we learned from the film against Akron. So there's Coach U and the staff does a great job of keeping everything consistent throughout the week, throughout the following weeks. So every team meeting, you'll expect the same thing, but the coaches will have you feel that emotion that doesn't want to be felt again, like the Western loss.
Coach, you talked about NIU's big offensive line and some power running backs there. I guess, what do you see in their offense?
I see a hard-nosed team, and I feel like we're going to have to play physical. It's going to be a 4-quarter physical game from the start to finish. So their big O-line, their big running backs, we're going to have to come out with energy. We can't come out slow, and we're going to have to come out gang tackling on defense, and then just the want-to. That's going to be a big thing to stop their run. And then once we can do that, we can start, we can start getting at Nate and Smiley. We can start getting after their quarterback. So stop the run, and then we'll build from there.
This team is 3-0 at home, 0-4 on the road. What do you kind of attribute those road struggles to, and what do you guys need to do to flip that around this week?
Man, energy. And with us being 0-4 on the road, we're going to attack this game like we've never attacked it before. I feel like I'm ready to go for practice. And the Bronze Stock, it's going to be a big rivalry game and a big test to, we can show we can win on the road. So Whatever we got to do to make that happen, I know I am, and the defense is going to really put that work in practice.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Where'd the nickname Diesel come from?
Oh, it came from my dad. I think when I was like a baby, I looked like compact like a diesel truck. So ever since then, they've been calling me that. So yeah, you'll hear people say diesel and everything. So that's what they call me.
Gotcha. Yeah, we were talking to Nate the other day after practice. He said Diesel, and we were like, "Who's Diesel?"
Yeah,
So that's,
yeah.
That's funny. I wanted to ask about
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
But good.
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
Thank you.
Thanks, DC.
Thank you, Darin. All right, question for Quay.
Quay, you were able to get the running game going against Akron. What do you think made the difference against Akron compared to Western Michigan, where you would get that ground game moving?
I feel like against Western it was like everybody was flat, we was dead. I don't know, but I know against Akron, like DC said, we had a lot of energy. Everybody was excited to bounce back from that bad taste. Everybody was doing their job, so I feel like against Akron, everybody just was excited and we had more energy. That's what helped us get the game going.
I guess how do you keep that energy high, going into the next coming weeks as well?
Say it again.
How do you keep that energy high after Western? Obviously, you wanted to bounce back.
Basically just attacking practice the same as we did. Everybody doing their job, having fun with the game. Basically, I just attacking practice every week, attacking the film, and everybody just doing their job.
You guys talk a lot about energy. Feel like the big energy boost in that game was your long touchdown run. How much do you value being kind of a spark plug type of guy that can be one big play away from giving the team an energy boost on the sideline?
I take pride in being able to make the big play when I'm called on. I like being that guy. I like everybody having trust in me to make the play. Yeah.
Kind of like Coach said it and DC just said it, when you guys are watching film, even though, you won the game, you want to see things get even better. What's something you took away from Saturday's win that you think you can improve on still?
I always watch and see what I did that wasn't my best, such as blocking. A couple times I probably got beat on pass block, or one of the receiver runs, I kind of let up on my block and my dude made a tackle. So I can go to practice this week and become a better blocker. So that's basically it.
Yeah, we asked Darin about it. Obviously, 3-0 at home, 0-4 on the road. What do you think you guys need to do to kind of flip that around this week?
Like DC said, energy, man. Just go practice, attack the film. As y'all said, I don't know much about this rivalry, so I feel it's going to be a big game. And for my team, I know everybody's already been talking about it. It's going to be like a different mentality this week. So I feel like we just got to have good energy and we'll come out victorious.
I guess what are some of the things your teammates have been telling you about this rivalry game?
I'm kind of lost on that. So, but I know a couple people have said it's a long rivalry. Like y'all just said, I don't think some of them has lost since they've been here. So I want to be the same way, don't lose. And Coach, you said this would be the last time we played them for a long time. So for this to be my first one, I wanted to be the best. So.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Quay.
Thanks, Quay.